I'm here waiting for my ducks. They are coming in the taxi. They are from, I've sourced them from the island because there are very many on the waters of Lake Victoria, and they are very cheap. So remember to minimize your costs as you are beginning, guys. So as we are beginning, we begin with local stuff as we get experience. Now I'm waiting for the ducks here. They are coming in the taxi from Kalangala. I need to show you everything, every bit of how we begin every project, and you see how we shall be we shall be proceeding with every project. So guys, let's wait. But I couldn't show you when I'm receiving, because this plastic guys, when you tell them petrol station, for them they know Shell. We told them Starbucks, they went on Shell very far away, so I'm from picking them. They are there in the boot, but the packaging has been so bad. The person who packaged it was not right. You don't do a good job, but they are there in the boot, guys. And I've got them, and I'm driving back home. Hello my people, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Hanimi's World. Welcome to that channel that inspires you to do business in agriculture in your villages. Business in agriculture in your villages. If you are interested in such videos, guys, please consider to subscribe down below and hit that notification bell so that YouTube notifies you whenever I upload more videos. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to talk about some practices, some beliefs, some norms that farmers put in place, or what farmers have grown up knowing, that really cannot apply in the day-to-day ways of doing business, more so business in agriculture. If you're just rearing your hens, your cattle, your goats, your sheep, just for as a passion, you can go ahead and do those practices. But if you're doing farming as a business in animal husbandry, guys, there are those practices, there are those beliefs, there are those norms of the way you look after your animals, that okay, some they are good, and others that have led to doom. They have led to failures of farmers in the farming businesses, guys. So that is exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. Successful animal husbandry business. Talk about poultry. I talk about duck farming, layer hens, rearing hens for rearing broilers for meat. Name them. Cattle keeping, rearing sheep, rearing piggery, and rearing goat for commercial purposes. Name them. For every successful business in animal husbandry, you need to be with proper housing, you need to be with the best breed, you have to be with good management in place. You have to be good management cuts across things to do with the way you manage your animals, and also the way you manage your workers. Yes, you have to be with good feeding practices, or you have to feed those animals properly with the right nutrients, guys. If you put that into place, you are good to go, and trust me, you have to make profits. On top of that, I add good treatment, like taking care of your animals. How do you take care of your animals when they fall sick, so that they can really recover and then pick on? So guys, if you put all those practices in place, you are bound to succeed in the farming sector, more so in the animal husbandry sector, guys. Now, as we go on, I realize in this farming journey of mine, I realize that most of the farmers are failing because of their norms, because of their beliefs, because of what they have been doing, or what they have been seeing when they are growing up people do in farming, guys. So there are those things that you've been seeing farmers do, and you carry them on in this time, or in this time period of farming, and they will lead to your doom or to your failure in farming, guys. I don't know whether you get my point, guys. For example, I always give you an example that I was so surprised for me to move around different farms, most of those ones who have been in farming for a long period of time. and they were so okay with being with the same cock, with being with the same back, like male goat for a very long period of time. These people have been, you think people have been, so they will tell you, me, I've been farming for like 20 years. Yes, I have vast experience in farming, yet the practices they are doing are so barbaric and they cannot take them anywhere. That's why it explains the reason why people have been in farming for a long period of time, but when you look at their journey, all at their animals, even those ones that have begun doing farming for a shorter period of time, they are far beyond them, guys. Why? Because of that. I call it not being flexible. I call it being rigid. Farmers have that rigid way of thinking. Farmers are not doing research, guys. You have, as a farmer, you have to do research each and every day. May I do research on each and every day, guys, because many things are out there. Many outbreaks of diseases are out there, guys. Gone are the days that you could treat these animals organically, guys. That is also another point. There are farmers who believe that you're going to do farming on a very large scale and you feed your hens what are those maggots called? Black soldier flies. Hmm? Some of these things are meant for people who are going to just grow things like, okay, rare animals on a small scale. Some things don't apply on a larger scale. You farm, there is also this thing of organic feeding. Yes, I'm not talking about you feeding your animals with toxic feeds, no. But these things of saying organic, I'm going to use herbs to treat my hens, herbs to treat my goats, guys. If you're going to do commercial business, guys, that is a lie, a naked lie. Your animals are going to die. I've seen people's animals dying because they are believing in that shit of organic, guys. Instead of doing organic, guys, do this. Me, I believe in feeding your animals with the right feeds, with the right nutritions, guys. Then after that, I believe in carrying out biosecurity on your farm to prevent different kinds of diseases, guys. That is, if you're going on a larger scale, guys, deal away with that way of thinking that you are not going to need these medicines, guys. You're going to need those medicines, guys. But the best thing or the best practice I would recommend is for you to carry out biosecurity by beginning with being clean by yourself, because most of the diseases come in um, because you are dirty. Be clean. Clean your pens or your animal pens every day. Provide clean water to your animal pens. Provide good feeds to your hens. Carry out biosecurity like dipping your feet in a disinfectant, guys, before you enter your animal pens, guys. Talk about all those biosecurities that you note down below, guys. That is the best way of you preventing diseases, guys. Prevent diseases, guys, and prevent diseases by vaccinating, guys. People will tell you, vaccination is not good, you're not being organic, guys. You cannot rear these animals if you don't vaccinate, because these diseases keep on coming and they are even changing face. In poultry, we used to only vaccinate Newcastle like once. Now we are vaccinating Newcastle almost every after 2 months, or some vaccinate even every after a month, depending on your area where you are. These diseases are in your areas, they differ in areas where you are rearing your animals, guys. So as here in Africa, I'm telling you, you cannot go on a larger scale without needing medicine, guys. Then after you put in place biosecurity at your farm, that is prevention. Vaccinate and prevent. Then after you've done that, these herbs, use them as a, by the way, to prevent diseases. I also use herbs. I use aloe vera, I use sisal, I use neem tree. I have a neem tree here. I use chigaji's what, bitter leaf. Name them, garlic, apple cider vinegar. I use all those things in my animals, but as a preventative means, because they are herbals and they don't have really a very big problem with them even taking them when they are not sick, but in good quantities, guys. You have to know how to prepare these things. Now, if you are out there and you think you are going so big, like you are going to do animal husbandry on a larger scale and depend on those herbs to treat the diseases on your farm, Guys, you are deceiving yourselves. You are deceiving yourselves. At the end of the day, you're going to fail. These herbs, some of them they work, but some of them no longer work because these diseases are taking like another form. You see, going like that, those days people used to treat of disease. They call them bumwamama. They used to treat of disease with pen strip and some antibiotics, and it could just go easily go nowadays those days. But now you can get an of disease and it will be so severe, meaning that it has taken another form. That's why they have even introduced a vaccine for it. So, like even in us, like human beings, we used to treat malaria with quinine and what? Why do you think they are what changing the medication of the same malaria? It means that these diseases take different forms, guys. So now, if you are out there and you are going to lean on those barbaric ways only of doing farming business on a larger scales, guys, you are bound to fail. The other time I was buying my medicines in Container Village, I came across a certain gentleman and he was so confused on what he wanted, and he had this passion for goat farming. So I gave him my number, we gave him our numbers. I was with my husband and we tried to call him and give him some what information about goat farming for free, guys. So he sent us his goat. Young goat was diureting, so he was like, they have told me goats diurete because they have musulja, that is fever. That is right, they have musulja. So people were telling him, instead of buying that medicine, you go and get njaga marijuana and just give it to the goat. So he did that. He got marijuana and gave it to the goat. So the goat wasn't what? Getting right. So he had to call us and told us, I've given it marijuana, but it is getting worse. By the time we told him what to do, the young goat Bambi died. Why? Because of those thinkings and sayings and practices that people always know, that when it is doing this, do this. When it is doing this, do this. Guys, in animal husbandry, it is the same applies to us human beings. These diseases are taking different forms, meaning that there are different medicines out there for these animals that we must embrace if you are going to be commercial. Hmm? So another point is, when you don't sell these animals when they are on treatment, don't sell these animals when they're from treatment, guys. There is that withdraw period on the bottle, on the medicine, guys. So when you take that into consideration, that animal will be safe. Give it time so that that medicine goes through its body and it is safe to be eaten. There you are feeding the nation good meat than you milking that cow, yet it is on treatment and taking the milk. That is bad. So that is where the organic thing comes on. It doesn't mean that if you vaccinate your animals, they are going to be full of what? Of that chemical forever. Me, I believe with time, this chemical washes itself out through the body, and towards eating that animal, it will be safe. So it calls for integrity of us farmers too, which most farmers don't have. They're looking at money to protect our nation. If you know your animals, your birds are on a certain medicine, don't sell the eggs. And for also birds like poultry farming, you can avoid these diseases, and you make sure that your birds are antibiotic free. So when you avoid diseases, meaning that you won't treat these animals. So those beliefs, those practices, guys, are leading to failure in animal husbandry, and people are so disgruntled about everything, and people are so fixated, and they are not even flexible to learn. For them, they know it is done this like this. When my poultry gets sick with cough, I'll use she plus this and this, and it will be fine. Yes, sometimes it works and sometimes it will be fine, but remember, these diseases are taking other courses. If you do research each and every year, you see that the way animals were falling sick the other years, it's not the same way. Same applies to us human beings, guys. So that's why you have to know how to treat your animals each and every year that comes, you have to do research. So those practices in breeding, feeding them organically, no, feeding organically, it is okay on a small scale, but on a larger scale, you need that maize brand. And even maize brand is organic. It is made from maize. You see, guys, those concentrates, you can make concentrates out of jack beans. Out of jack beans is mukuna. Those things, they just grow them and they pound them into making feeds. You can make feeds that is organic and feed your animals, guys. When you talk about organic, we don't only mean giving them grass and what. Even these feeds, zamuken is also organic that we give these animals. You see? So if you are there and you are thinking you are going to give them protein of black soldier fly, name them, that is okay, but on a smaller scale, guys. So make research and improve on those practices, guys. So thank you for watching Her Name is Word. If you've gotten something in this video, please consider to subscribe down below, share my videos for others to learn, guys, and I comment down below, guys. Let's have a conversation. Put down below other practices that you know that are leading to failures in animal husbandry that people still use, that are using, that people still believe in, and leading to failures and leading them to become so disgruntled in animal husbandry, guys. Thank you for watching. Her name is Word. Bye bye.